It's probably a little bit too late at night to show you the van, but I found my little Flipcam. I tried it last night and it was very wobbly, so I'm going to try my best to be less wobbly tonight. So it's basically just a ute with a canopy on top. It is a long wheelbase, so it's longer than a standard ute, and the height is 2.4 meters. So in the front part, behind the driver's seat, I have my jacket and a little chair, and this is my bin, a little cereal container, so I can keep the smells contained within. Just put a supermarket bag in, and it's reachable from the back. That's about it that's interesting in here, apart from the reverse camera, which is part of this mirror. Very too dark to see probably, but now I'll show you the back. So up that handle. Probably hang my washing off this one day. And inside is very dark, so I'm going to turn the inverter on, which brings up my main light. It's a 15 watt ionizer. It's called Ion Max, and this purifies the air as well, so in a few minutes any sort of dust particles and things like that in the air will be gone. Got speakers there, and this is probably when they had the ambulance there. So when it's closed, I can get out by just clicking on this knob. Even though I could lock myself in, I can lock myself in from the outside, and this will still unlock it and open the door. So as you'll see, it's a tiny space. And that's the back. Very hard to show in the Flipcam a full view, so the photos will probably do a better job at that, because I'm sitting inside the van. So that's pretty much all the space I've got to work with, which isn't very much. So the first thing I did was I removed the carpet underneath, and I put down some rubber matting, which I haven't stuck down, so that I can always add insulation or add more matting or whatever I want later. So that'll just keep it clean. Then I've just got a carpet runner, which is quite nice, fits in quite nicely. And then I've got a doormat, a really long doormat to keep it clean. Underneath I've got some mechanic rubber. And at the back door, can't see it with this light, just a little doormat. So that's how I'll keep it clean, by making sure that I always use the doormat to rub my feet as I get in, stepping on the doormat, the other doormat, as I go through, and just using the mat over there for getting dressed and when I've got my shoes off and things like that, and that should keep it nice and clean. And if it gets dirty, I can just pull all this out, give it a shake or a vacuum, give the rubber matting a broom, and it should be very easy to clean. First I'll show you the lights. These first two buttons are for the outside lights. I've got outside lights on the left and right side of the vehicle, and this first one is the lights for the actual inside. And to actually get that working, I have to turn it on at the fuse. There's also a light here. So the fuse is behind the front little cabin area. I'll try and get a close-up. You can see we've got all these different choices here. Pretty sure the second one is the lighting. Last one's air conditioning. Now I've got lights coming up there. I can turn off this other light and just have a nice little sort of ambulance feeling light. Or I've got big lights above. So So plenty of lighting if I need it. I need to check what type of lighting they are. They might already be the low ones that I've been looking up. So it gets quite bright, or I can turn everything off and do candlelight, which is just LED candle lights, or this little torchy thing over here, which is quite bright. I can direct it as well. There's a directional one, and I can put that on anything that I want. It works quite well even with all the lights off. You can definitely see what you're doing, so you can keep, you know, power to a minimum by just using this little LED light with the candles. So how the power works is through this inverter, which is connected to a second battery underneath the bench, and that also powers anything I want to plug in to this power point, which is my blender or hairdryer or recharging my phone and laptop and things like that. So I could pretty much plug in any normal electric device. Obviously I need to be wary about how much power I use in that, otherwise I'll be sitting here in the dark and not being able to use anything. But as long as I'm careful, and then eventually get solar power batteries as well, I should have everything I need in here. So this inverter is charged from the main battery under the car. So when I'm driving, it powers this second battery. And when I'm not driving, or when I can just turn this on to actually use that, or I can turn it off, which is a lot quieter. And that will just turn that one off and anything connected to that device. But these are also powered by that second battery. As you can see, I now have a bed, thanks to Tom, another van dweller who spent the entire day making it for me. Now, this isn't going to stay like this. I need to get bedding for it, but now that I've got a bed, I can buy the right things. I'm going to get a sleeping mat and a sleeping bag and something nice to cover the underneath. I'll show you underneath. So when I lift my blankets up, you'll see that he's also made it an extendable bit, which I need to put legs on or something to be able to keep it up. So it'll make it a little bit wider if I want, because he doesn't think that I'm going to like how thin it is. I actually don't mind how thin it is, but I do like the option of having it bigger, and I can make it bigger as well, again, if I want to extend it out to, you know, even the full length of the van if I wanted to have a really big bed in here. But I like it the way it is. Underneath I have 3 of these storage containers, 3 times 3, so 9 altogether. And this contains my kitchen stuff. I haven't, filled it up properly yet. I've got dishes, a cutlery box, so I've got all my cutlery, my tea strainers and garlic roller and some plastic cutlery. And then I've got a kitchen cleanup, which has got paper toweling, wet wipes, which I don't even use these things normally, but I figure on the road I probably would use them. And I've got serviettes and some rubbish bags. And the last one is pantry food, coffee and herbal teas that I haven't converted into Tic Tac containers yet, coconut water, tuna, coconut sugar, nuts and seeds under there, just random pantry food. Next I have a overnight bag, which serves in the meantime because I'm not living in the van at the moment, but I still want to be able to visit friends from out of town before I take the big leap to the Sunshine Coast. So this is just what I normally use even when I'm taking air travel, because it fits in the overhead. So I can just chuck all my overnight stuff in here and head to a friend's house, and I can just take the bag in, and I've got everything I need to, in the meantime, to visit friends. Next up is the esky. I just borrowed a little esky from my sister. So in the future, when I can afford it, both of these will be gone, and I'll have a fridge underneath there and some wastewater. And what I want to be able to do is build a sink in this space underneath. So above, I want to build a hole into this table. This table will be my my food preparation table, but I also want it to be a sink. So if I cut a hole and make a sink out of it, I can feed in fresh water using standard plumbing, PVC probably, so I don't necessarily need to have the fresh water underneath, but I do need somewhere for the wastewater to go, so I'll put the wastewater bucket underneath there and the fridge, if I can fit them. So I need a really tiny fridge to make this dream come true. Next up is the other containers, the other 3. By the way, I bought these deliberately first, thanks to Tom's recommendation, so that we could build the bed to match the storage areas so that everything's sort of in alignment with each other. So it's perfect, especially because the top ledge can prevent things from falling out, and plus once I have material here and some nice finish on the wood, everything will hold in, so it's going to look so much nicer when it's all done. Now I've got it, I can make something. So okay, so food is my medicine, so I don't really need a proper first aid kit. I probably will have standard stuff depending on what areas I go to and things like that, but in there is little do-it-yourself dentistry stuff. So I don't go to a dentist, I do it myself, which is probably why my teeth aren't so good, but hey, I'm a cheap ass. Here I've got Holden Deluxe Zapper. I've got another zapper in there. In there I've got my little straws of things that I don't use very often and don't really want to use, but thinking when I go to Bali, it's so hot in Bali that I'm not anti-sunscreen and things like that in Bali, because you get burnt within 15 minutes of being in that sun. So I'm not sure about the Sunshine Coast, what kind of job I'll have or whatever. So I thought I'd just put some SPF 30, SPF 50 in some straws, which I burnt both ends with a lighter, and my aloe vera. So they're the after sun care. So I basically got a little sun care kit in little straws, and if I don't use them I can just chuck them. If I do use them I can buy some more. Hydrogen peroxide, which is pretty much a daily thing almost for me. Some band-aids, little mosquito zapper. I love these things. If you've never used one, they're awesome if you get bitten by mosquitoes. Silicone glove I'm a fan of when you're fruit picking, because it keeps all the grime and stuff sticking to this, and then you just wash your hands and all the crap comes off without getting all over your hands. Some safety pins, and that's pretty much my first aid kit at the moment. Next is, this is my most commonly used bathroom drawer if I'm going out somewhere. So in the back there is special occasion makeup, things that I wouldn't use very often, and excess, colours that I don't generally use very often. So I might not ever need this, but I want to see how it goes, because I just haven't needed it in my lifestyle at the moment, and who knows what kind of lifestyle I'll have up there. And this is all organised in little drawers, so I can just take it out and set up my little bathroom basically. So it's got everything I need. And then I could just pop it back in, all out of the way. And the top drawer at the moment just has a hairdryer, some spare shampoo and conditioner. Even though I use natural shampoo and conditioner, I'm thinking sometimes I'm going to be lazy and I can just grab a couple of the travel packs. Bicarb soda, which is another shampoo that I pretty much use. Some cleanser if I want a quick, the facial wipes. If I get lazy, I don't know. And a electric razor. Next is clothes, and at the moment books and notes and things like that. So I have written 2 books this year, 3 books in the last 2 years, and I just can't stop writing. There's always, I'm either researching or I'm writing. So even though I do most of it on the computer, you're not always going to, I just can't help myself. I can take a notepad anywhere, so I can take a notepad down the park and write without my computer. So then I go back, and sometimes I remember to write it, to transfer the notes to the computer. Other times I've just got books and books and books of different notes, but I definitely need to have a drawer full of my notes. Next is a little area. I made sure the bed didn't go all the way to the end, which would have made it longer. I don't mind. The way that it is now, I have to hang my feet over the end, and I really don't mind that at all because that's how I sleep already. But I wanted a space to put long things. So, because otherwise there's no place in here that I could put things that are taller than this. And sometimes you're going to need that. So, this is my long thing space. Maybe I might end up having to put a fridge there if it doesn't fit underneath. So, I don't know. At the moment it's got my laundry, my little manual laundry. So you just fill it up the top with clothes. And so what I intend to do is, as I dirty my clothes, I put them in the laundry. And then when it's full enough to do a load, I do a load. And you don't need power for this one, so it's pretty cool. I love it. So that's the bedding area. So during the day, it'll just be a table, not a bed. And at night time, I can just take my bedding from this area, and which will just be a sleeping bag, a sleeping mat, and maybe a blanket or a doona or something. In this area at the moment, I've got my guitar, because you want entertainment that doesn't need electricity. I've got my actual blanket that I do intend to take, which is in a plastic thing to protect it. A little single doona and some nice fluffy pillows. So that'll all change when I get the actual equipment that I really want. But in the meantime, this makes a nice cozy bed. And I'll probably put my valuables in there to get protected by the actual blankets and things like that. So anything that's sort of breakable, I'll probably put between materials. But it does only have an 8 kilo load limit. Otherwise, I'd put heaps more there. So next is my little bathroom. So I've got a mirror. Hello! And underneath that is enough to put little travel containers of liquid and things. So that's going to be definitely full because I use these things a lot for my own concoctions. And then there's 2 little areas above where I can store random things. There, I installed a toilet roll holder up here for my microfiber towels, so I've got easy access to something to wipe my hands or clean something off or whatever. There you'll see the speaker control. I have no idea how that works. We've got air conditioning, which we got working before. And on the other side is heater control. And I really want to learn how to turn the heater off, because right now, as I'm driving, the heater's on automatically and it's under that bed, which is a pretty dangerous spot. So I need to figure out how to turn that off and not have it on, because I'm not going to need it in the Sunshine Coast anyway. And who wants hot heater going on those plastic, you know, it's just going to be, I need to turn it off. So I've also got this kind of little area here which you can put tall items in, maybe olive oil and things like that, anything that's sort of tall. I've also got this little, about the size of a thin wheel. It's really quite small. I don't know how big it looks on the camera, but I'm hoping to be able to fit water there, but I'm not sure. I'm not liking my chances. I need to measure it up and see if there's anything that sort of fits that area. Above that, I've got my shoes. This is not going to stay here, but I've put it there for the moment. What I want to do is sort of mount something like that, exactly like that, underneath, sort of above the bed, but in that little nook. So there should be enough room to fit something there to be able to put my shoes. And the wardrobe will actually be here. So I'm going to put a rod out diagonally across the corner where the thing is, so, and try and fit my life of little bits of clothes there somehow. I don't know. So this is my side window. At the moment I've put a sun visor shade there. I bought the sun visor as a solar cooker, so I'm going to be able to I'm going to Velcro it here so that it's, during the day, it's actually got its little spot. And I could also use it as a solar cooker, so I can just pull it off the window and cook or dehydrate food that way. Then I've got a little storage area here. At the moment it's just got a hot water bottle and an empty Tupperware container. But that could maybe fit water as well. I think it's going to be food, probably. Food or clothes. And above the lights, these little storage areas. doesn't fit much. As you can see, this is a standard little Tupperware container. And the other side is even skinnier than that. So, no idea. I think food. Next to the window, I've got this little, I don't know, what do you call them? I wish I knew the name of them. Spare toothbrush, spare toothpaste. I actually use natural toothpaste, so that's in a different bag, and I'll show you that. Makeup brush, coconut oil toothpaste, and floss, and a makeup brush. So next to that, at the back door, I've got 3 shelves and an area underneath. So the first shelf is my bathroom bag. Underneath is this wooden area that's been separated. So I can actually store things in that. So store things definitely underneath the bathroom bag, so that I'm not wasting that space and keeping it just for the bathroom bag. So the reason I have a bathroom bag is because I don't have a shower in here. So I wanted to organise myself to put everything I need to take to an external bathroom in an accessible way, rather than, you know, getting ready every single time. So inside, by the way, the bag's waterproof. Inside is my shampoo conditioner, which is just bicarb soda in the shampoo and apple cider vinegar in the conditioner. I've got pretty much all the standard bathroom stuff that I need in this little Kathmandu things. It also, oh, I won't show you, I need 2 hands. When it unzips, you can hook it up on, so use it like a shower rail sort of thing. I've also got a full-size towel, one of those proper tech towels, so fast to dry and, you know, small space but really large towel. A couple of shower caps, something to dry my hair with, and I have 1,000 of these micro towels. I will probably take about 50 with me, I don't know, and I can put them in different things, but this is just like a once-off use sort of thing. I've got a candle here, a candle there, and a candle in that little nook there, and I've got a little remote here, so I don't have to use the battery at all. I can just turn whichever one on. I could turn them all on, have the lights off, and have a little ambient light, and I can change colours. So you don't have to be sitting here in absolute darkness. They do run on batteries, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It'd be nice to just have one of these at night time when I feel like I'm in pitch black, because it is absolute pitch black without it. So be nice. And you can also make them multicoloured, so they all change. Kind of pointless, but also kind of nice. Can't believe how much there is to show you in such a small little space. Anyway, second thing is my blender. There's also another part that I use inside, which is the main one I use. This one's for bigger ones if I want to make soup or even a big batch, big green smoothie batch. And a little baking tray, which I'm using to actually keep everything in place, but it'll also double as if I want to cook something in it. This is all held together by Velcro, so I could just pull that off. I'll show you these 2 things. So I bought this the other day from Masters. It is so gorgeous. I love how it's color coded and everything. This is for my nuts and seeds probably. So goji berries, cranberries, cashew nuts, more cashew nuts because that's used a lot. Hemp seeds, standard pumpkin seeds like the white variety, coconut, flaked almonds, raw almonds, sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds are in every single meal that I make pretty much. So that's pepitos, which is pumpkin seeds as well. Walnuts is also a daily. I have 2 walnuts a day pretty much. So that's my little thing. I've also put little bit of Velcro, one on the inside and one on the actual container to hold them in place while we're driving, because they were coming out. They were very, very loose, and now that just sort of is enough to just keep it in there, but still be really easy to access. Next we have a standard screw holder, I guess you call it, from Bunnings. You've probably seen 1,000 of these around. This is where I hold most of my kitchen stuff, spices, herbs and spices. Essential oils is in there as well, and minerals. So inside the house I've actually got most of the minerals that I use day to day. These are sort of the excess ones that I've already set up. So I've got black seeds, zeolite and nettle. In here, DE, citric acid, xylitol, MSM, vitamin C. There's 2 different types of vitamin C: taurine, L-arginine, L-orthanine, tyrosine. Little packets of, I don't know, I've kept these tomato ketchup, but tomato paste I actually use probably once every 3 months, so it's quite handy to add flavour to things. Nori flakes for my iodine. I've got a couple of those in my little Tic Tacs there. And I love these little miso soup. Miso soup? Miso? I don't know how to pronounce it, but these I make when you've got cold or flu. You make a little soup up, or just add it to meals, and it adds heaps of flavour. Add it to rice, it adds flavour. But it also has probiotics, if you believe the hype, and I don't know if I do, so I add it with the hope that it does. And in here, peppercorns, chili flakes, more chili flakes, cayenne pepper, lemon and garlic pepper, paprika, Himalayan salt, cracked pepper, and veggie salt. I love veggie salt. I don't know if it's good for you though. Cinnamon, mustard, nutmeg. This is like probably my Indian one. Garam masala, Indian curry. So I've got Indian curry there, and I've got a different one from a different shop there, and cumin, coriander, 5 spice, coriander seed, star anise. Everything fits in Tic Tacs. Cloves, ground cloves, oregano, basil, probably thyme, and anyway, what am I showing you every single one for? Oh, these ones though, little veggie stock things. I've got these little, and that wasn't ideal because I could see, because this one's slightly open, it didn't shut properly, so it's dried it up. But I don't know, probably have to chuck that out. But I put little veggie stock, single use veggie stock in these little tablet AM PM things, thinking it was a good idea before I found the Tic Tac idea. And I thought that was good. It could fit a few, but it's not exactly ideal. Tic Tacs, they're ideal. Essential oils, what have I got in there? Lavender and peppermint. I'm going to find a better place for them. But yeah, it fits heaps. Lots and lots of things can go in this one little things. And I've also put the Velcro on the back of all of these drawers, that it holds it in place as well while I'm driving. It doesn't always work though, this one. I don't know what I did wrong. This was the first one I did, so I probably just set it up. But anyway, because it's on the side now, I've got it sitting on the side up there, so it doesn't really matter. But before I had it out, and then everything was coming out. And that also fits perfectly in the space that I've got to work with, which is really almost done. Okay, so next to the bed I have this metal sheet up that the mechanics put up. It goes all the way along the length. It's not very sturdy, but it does the job. And here I have just a normal storage container that has separated things. I don't know what I'm going to put in there yet, but it fits perfect. The pump for my sink. Things that I'm accessing all the time at the moment, which is Velcro, bungee cords, wires, hooks, scissors. So everything that I've got in here at the moment is something that, because I'm in the van every day doing something to the van, I'm accessing this all the time. Sleep mask. I think I'm going to need that in the van. I very rarely use it in the house. Another yoga mat. Got another one underneath the bed. A little first aid kit which has got nothing in it. A foldable table which is absolutely perfect. I'll show you that in a sec. The chair that went along with it, like I bought them both at the same day because they matched each other, but this chair is a really shitty purchase. I shouldn't have bought it. It's not flat enough. So the perfect thing about this table is it is just the right height to, when you're sitting on the bed, to use when you're writing, like you've got your different things that you might be holding on to while you're laying on the bed. You can take notes and everything on the actual table. When you're sitting on the bench where the battery is, you can actually put your dinner on the table and eat your dinner there, or so you can put the laptop on the bed or on the actual table. It's actually the perfect height, and it folds pretty flat. So I wasn't going to keep this table because I thought I didn't need it anymore now that I've got a big table like the bed. But I think sometimes when I've got the bed already made up, this table is going to be really useful, and it can also be taken outside if I want to eat outside. Almost done. So down to the last couple of bits. In the corner here, I'm using this every day as well. It is a label maker, and I actually kind of got addicted to it. So pretty much you just type in what you want, and then you press print, and out comes a little label just like this one, or like these ones. So you've got different colours and things like that, and it's really useful because my handwriting was getting terrible by the end of writing on 50 different Tic Tac containers. So next up is my herbal teas. So here, this is dandelion. It's more like coffee than tea. This is roasted dandelion, I think. And it's really good for the liver. I've got lemon balm melissa, same thing. Licorice root, I've got heaps of those. These are licorice tea. The ultimate cleanse, I've looked up all these ingredients, and all of them are absolutely really, really good for the immune system. This blend is yarrow, elderflower and peppermint. I've got a couple of those. Peppermint tea there. Chamomile probably. There might be some normal tea in here maybe, if we're lucky. There you go. 4 bags of normal tea in case somebody wants some. But otherwise I don't drink normal tea. I drink coffee, which is poison, but I still drink it. And herbal teas. So that's my little herbal tea thing. I need more Tic Tac containers to fill that up. So if you want to buy me anything, Tic Tac containers, please. Next is my little soap jar. I don't use liquid soap because even though it would be way more convenient, I need to learn how to make a natural one because they're all full of chemical crap and I don't really see the point. So these are all my natural soaps that I have shredded down with a cheese grater, a veggie peeler thing. And I can grab a little bit, so if I want to just wash my hands or something, I can just grab a tiny little piece and wash my hands in the van without, wetting a whole bar or whatever. And I've got bigger pieces for taking into the shower. And now we've reached the kitchen, which I'm not going to keep the same as this, but for the moment it's already set up like this. So here is a stove. I just lift this up and I put the leg down. And I'm going to do the same for the actual bed, the little extra things that you saw before. But underneath that, I have all my kitchen stuff in this basket here. I've got more microfiber towels. I've got cups, bowls, plates, pretty much. All my car stuff is behind there. Fit it behind the middle bit. Oil and things like that. A picnic rug, so that I could sit outside as well. This is a jump starting kit, so it's got everything you need to, jump start another car. A little kettle that I can put on my little stove, and The stove works, probably seen these already on YouTube, but I can't do this one-handed. The stove works by putting a little gas can I've got in the side of the door with a fire blanket. I need to get a fire extinguisher, which I'm going to put there because it was made for a fire extinguisher. So you put your gas can in and then you start the fire. I don't intend to use this stove for anything except if I'm desperate for hot water, because I